Ian,
Patrick,
we have a Patreon, don't we?
We do. You go to patreon.com/CU podcast. And what do you do there? Well, if you exchange some money with us, you get some stuff in return. You get the full video podcast. You get the bonus bits from before we record this podcast. You get close to weekly writings from me. I'll have a new one up today. We also do these polls.
We also have the
Hangouts.
We have the Hangout, and we have the Enamel Pin Club now.
That's right.
You join that tier or above, you get an enamel pin shipped out to you. If you're at the 1 or above, make sure you fill in your address. If you're in the Hangout tier, you're entitled to a pin.
That's right.
Pat will print out that stamps.com postage. Use code CU podcast, and you could you'll get a pin. All right. Let me just say something to the patrons before I get into it. I love you for making this happen, and to the doubters out there on the Patreon, don't ever doubt. Dreams can come true. In a tight split, in second place, 48% is grading or reselling worse for video game collecting, and in a stunning Buster Douglas style upset, 52%. How is gaming on the New Jersey Boardwalk different in 2022? I thought that would get 10% of the vote. Thank you for making it happen.
I even told Pat, I was like, this gets one more week.
Ian was a doubter. I had faith.
Well, in the previous weeks, it was low. It wasn't doing so hot.
But you made it happen.
It's the comeback kid.
You proved you proved 48% of the Patreon folks wrong, and Ian. So how was gaming on the New Jersey Boardwalk different in 2020? A month ago when I went there. Was it a month ago? It was about a little more than a month ago that I went there. So let me tell you.
Tell, Patrick.
Let me tell you about the New Jersey Boardwalk.
Let me tell you something.
Let me harken back to the New Jersey Boardwalk. Go back to the 80s, to the 90s. Gaming, you'd have on the Boardwalk about 6 to 8 arcades, main arcades. And you still have about 6 left, even with the fires. The fires only took out the one that was the best one, unfortunately. The Yestercades one. It was Flashbacks, not Yestercades. Flashbacks took that one out. But you have the other ones left on the street side. Yestercades was on the beach, so that's why it went up in flames more easily too. So when you went to the Boardwalk back in the day, it was your usually first time seeing a lot of these games on the Boardwalk.
Yeah, you've said that before, that the Boardwalk was like the place to... That's where you saw what was up and coming. Because they would always have the new stuff at a place with so many people.
Yes, and honestly, they probably... I don't know how the biz usually release these, but it made sense. Because otherwise, we go to the arcades, the mall, maybe like part of a movie theater, like Amboy Cinemas, shout out, if they're still around, where they'd have 15, 20 arcade games, but like scattered throughout the main big main lobby there. So you did not know what was coming out. You didn't. You go up to Casino Pier, Coin Castle, Lucky Leo's, Sonny and Ricky's, the Flashbacks one back in the day, and you would discover all these new ones. Like, oh my God, 8-player Daytona's there for the first time, whenever that was, like 95.
I love 8-player Daytona.
Like they had it at Casino Pier. Oh my God, they have the Time Traveler Sega hologram game, the big fucking huge white thing there. Oh my God, they have the sit down shooter one where it moves around. That I always forget the freaking name of. You always got to tell me the name of that one.
Stun Runner.
No, shooter. It's a shooter one, space shooter one, where it goes around.
Oh, Galaxy Force.
Yeah, Galaxy Force.
Sorry.
So it was always your first experience. But then obviously, with the late 90s, less and less new arcade games coming there. At that point, it became more fighting games. Oh my God, you have Soul Calibur on the big screen. That was a big one. Like, what was that, 98? That was a big one to see that in the big screen. Big screen Soul Calibur and big screen fighting games for the first time.
Soul Calibur was so cool too.
I remember one of the first times I saw a freaking Primal Rage was on one of the Dynamo cabs.
Really?
With the little,
the front bench. It's not a bench, but
it goes underneath and it's a raised platform. It's like there's space between the control panel and the monitor so everyone can see. So it was interesting to see the transition to the 2000s because the heyday of arcade games ended by then. You also had less pinball machines coming out. Only Stern was left by the 2000s. That was it.
2000, I believe Stern was the only manufacturer, because Pinball 2000, I believe both of those machines actually came out in 99, and then that was it for Williams.
And then
I think Stern put out, it was either Monopoly or Railroad Tycoon was their first from the comeback. I think it was Monopoly.
And they started doing Sopranos, and then started doing Family Guy and light stuff in South Park.
Some of those early ones are rough. South Park was not Stern.
Wasn't Stern, Sega?
Yeah, I believe the South Park was Sega.
But anyway, and then Sega was done by the late 90s as well, right? With Pinball, they were done too.
And technically that was Stern, you're right, because Data East Sega, back to Stern.
We're back to Stern. Okay. So the point is this. I hadn't been in the Boardwalk in 3 years, and so by then I saw it changed 3 years ago. But how's it changed now? We'll just lump it together.
Yeah.
I will say this. We're never going to be able to go back to the golden age is never coming back for arcades. At least for how we remember it on the Boardwalk in terms of new stuff. They don't make new normal games anymore. They make shooters with big guns. They make racing games for you to play, and you see fighting games. That's it. And even the fighting stuff is like I went to when I went to.
There's not a whole lot of new like arcade fighters being made. They're all getting like.
There was a mission and went to Mission Beach. It was actually a beat 'em up. There it was a DC fighting beat 'em up there that I didn't see before. That was up there, I believe. But anyway, so unfortunately, you go to Lucky Leo's and you walk in now, and there was always a lot of claw games, crane games, claw games, whatever. A lot of them. Now that's like dominates when you walk in. There's no arcade games at all. You go to the back, to the left, you'll see back and to the left, you'll see, all right, there's like the alien shooter game there, a couple of driving games there. But that's it. It's all redemption machines. There's a skee ball back there. They had 4 of the hoops games where you get the tickets out.
I love those.
It's a lot of it wasn't all cards now for credits. Most of the stuff you can put $1 in, but cards for credit. Thankfully, still tickets. So I've been now to Mission Beach over here. They put the points on your card, which I hate.
They do.
I hate that.
Yep.
Give me the tickets, damn it. Give me the tickets. I want to feel the ticket. I want to see it come out, the row of tickets. So played skee ball with my sister and mom. I did the basketball. I almost got to 50. When you get to 50, you get the bonus time. I got to 49.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'm not awful at that game. I'm not great.
I am. If you want to see someone flounder it's me. I love basketball. I love trying to shoot the hoops. I'm so bad at those.
I'm too streaky, just like with bowling. I'll miss 3, hit 6 in a row, then miss 5 in a row. I'm like my mechanics are super streaky when it comes to stuff like that. For like bowling or shooting hoops. It's just super weird. I don't have enough reps. You got to do 1 billion times to get it perfect. So that was great. There was a nice Yahtzee game where you have the rows. You have 6x6 rows. And the balls fall, and they fall randomly, and that's basically your dice spin.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then you can choose which ones to stay for the ball, or you pop them back up to get your 4 of a kind, or go for a Yahtzee, or go for a straight. So that was actually really fun.
Interesting.
My sister pulled up to one, and someone had left like $10 worth of credits in. I swiped a credit for her. I was big cash Pat that day, buying everyone's credits.
Big money.
And so she kept playing. I played and was done in a minute. She was playing for 10 minutes. I'm looking like, what the hell? And she got a ton of. She kept getting like 3 and 4 of a kinds easily, and straights were easy in the machine. The problem was the 1s and 6s were on the right, so you're far less likely for the ball to bounce to those rows to get the 1s and the 6s.
Right.
That was the problem. To get to those 2 rows.
Yeah, those would be harder to. Yeah,
it's basically it's a 6x6 layout.
Yeah, so everything's more likely to land in the middle.
Is it 5 dice in Yahtzee? Or
5
6?
dice.
So it's 6 by 5. You have a row for each number, and then you have 5 dice.
That makes sense.
Balls. So you can hold it for a second. You got a second, throw. You get 2 throws. Or there's a 3 in Yahtzee. Is it 3?
It's 3 in Yahtzee.
Okay, the main was 3. But anyway, so that's what you tried to do. But every time you landed, you can keep it. You got the points each time. Oh, I got a straight. I can keep the straight again. They give you the points again if you want to just keep the full. It's like you get small straights and large straights in Yahtzee, 4 or 5. So yeah.
Oh yeah, 4 and 5.
But those were easy to get. It was easy to get
3 and 4.
Oh, I thought it was 4 and 5. Because it's 5 dice.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I can't remember. You're probably right.
And then the full houses, you can get a set of 3 and 2.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
And we got a full house. So I guess what was disappointing was the lack of even pinball as well. Usually, even going to like Coin Castle, you used to see at least the newer Sterns. You'd see like, oh, there's the Lord of the Rings one. Or you see, like I say, Sopranos.
Yeah, you always see.
You see like
you usually see one like early 2000s era Stern.
Yeah, you see like, give me one. Not like back in the day, you go to Casino Pier and you get like a hodgepodge of ones from over the past 10 years. Oh, there's my favorite. There's Baywatch next to Royal Rumble.
That is such a ramp heavy machine.
next to Dirty Harry they had, and then they'll maybe have a newer one. Maybe they'll have one earlier from like the mid to early 80s, you know. Like there would be like a decent mix. That's not there anymore. Like the pinball's gone. It was maybe still there 3 years ago. No more pinball on the Jersey Boardwalk, I'm sorry to say. Like it was kind of not depressing, but unless I missed one, I think I didn't go to one in the North Seaside Heights. That arcade I don't think was open when I went there, but that was gone. I'll just say this about the claw games. Train games. They ain't skill no more. At one point they were skill. I can come back with 4 or 5 in a day. Now it's all about, well, you can pick something up. You ain't carrying it over. Like they're rigged now more than I can honestly say that there was a point where certain ones were totally skilled.
I think there's a point where, well, I'm not saying on the Jersey Boardwalk there is, but I know there's plenty that are still skill based elsewhere.
It used to be that it didn't matter how many coins you put in. It was all, you had the same chance, one person versus the next of getting it.
Yep.
They had the 2 different main types. Maybe they had 3 models. They had the bigger claw that could pick up bigger things, and it was free, go left and right. They had the smaller version of claws, which were not as easy to get those. Then you had the hit a button and it goes up, hit a button and it goes right, and it stops. You hit it twice. It goes up, over, and you pick it up. They had that version stand up, as well as looking overhead. I love the tabletop ones. Those were usually the ones where they went up and to the right.
Oh,
you ever see
those were cool.
Like a little bigger. Mm-hmm. Those are totally gone. Maybe because they took up too much space. I loved those because they were harder to get, but I think the claw was reliable if you could zero in, but they made it hard because like you couldn't stop it. It was just up and then to the right. So I played a couple of machines there. It was a wizard machine, where it's like 30 types of wizards. They're kind of cute. I won one finally. I picked up a wizard. It was like, I think 5 plays. It was like 5 plays for $3 or 5 for $5. I put the 5 in. I picked up a wizard every time. I hooked him. I'm a good player. Would pick him up, and then either when it got to the top, it would drop it, or it'd move like 6 inches and drop it. Back in the day, if it moved 6 inches, once you had a top, you were good. You were good. Like you got it. You were good to go. Am I boring you, Ian?
No.
You're good to go. It would drop it. You'd win it. I think the new machines they know how much money's in from the last win, and so if you just won one, it loosens it up.
Well, it's probably a time thing. I would bet it's similar to the replay score on a pinball machine. It starts low. Mm-hmm. The more money you put into it, well, the better you do, the higher the replay score gets.
If you get the high score.
If you get the high score, and then when you walk away, there's a cooldown time, which brings it back down. So I'm assuming it's kind of like the opposite with that. You start off, it's going to be real loose. If it sees you put enough money in, it probably tightens the claw up and lets you grab it a little bit better.
That's bullshit. That's not skill.
I'm not saying it's not bullshit. Skill-based. I'm just saying it's similar. There's probably like some sort of internal timer that's keeping track of
I think it's just the more money you put in, the tighter it gets till you win something, because like there's no reason why you could grab something, lift it up, and then when you start moving, all of a sudden it loosens up. Like what? Like if it's firm enough to grab it by his fat head, lift them up and start moving, it should be fine. So the one I got really pissed at though was there was one with it was a bigger one with these really cute bigger sloths, or like they had the big arms. I wanted to win it for a friend, and each time it grabbed it, it started lifting it up. It's a good hold. Would drop it as it was going up. Happened 4 times in a row. And I'm good at noticing what the prime one is. I said, you know what? I can't win this. I walked away. Came back 5 minutes later. It was gone. Person behind me probably put in a couple more dollars. It firmed it up and got it.
Firmed it up.
Hey, Lucky Leos.
Like it's a custard.
Hey, Lucky Leos. You've been around for like 60 years? That's not cool. I love you, Lucky Leos. I'm going to be with you forever. You and Coin Castle, you're my best arcades. You can't do that to me. You got to get some skill-based ones in there. I know you don't want to lose all your prizes. That's bullshit. The same way it's bullshit with like the blocks where you get to line up. You know, the balls, the LEDs, that's rigged.
Yes.
You hit it and it stops either too soon or too late. That's rigged. Can never win that. Do you have any questions, Ian, about this stuff I saw? You know, like mostly redemption. And the claw games, that's where you're at. It's like 95%. They are getting more varied though with the redemption games. Like the Yahtzee one I didn't see before. Like years back. It's more closer to like something you see like the coin pushers are more extravagant than they used to be.
Coin pushers, I was going to ask you. That was what I was going to ask you about. I've heard that coin pushers are very popular again, and they've started doing it where it's like instead of putting your own tokens and stuff in, you pay a certain amount, it gives you 10 coins, and I've heard a lot of them dispense like trading cards and stuff these days.
Yeah, I played at Mission Beach. Willy Wonka cards come out. You can keep them and redeem for games. You collect the whole set, you get a certain amount of coins.
My buddy's got like a DC one local to him that does the same thing.
So they had a cool setup. Now this is a redemption game podcast. Real quick, they had the Price is Right tower, where they had Plinko, and they had the Yodelay guy.
Oh yeah.
So I played the Plinko before. The reason why the Plinko one is fun is because you can, when you spell out Plinko, you spin the wheel. You spin the bonus, and you get the bonus. That's probably rigged what you get, but like it's supposed to be semi-random. Willy Wonka has the same one when I play that. So it's not just you push the coins over to get the tickets. There's an extra incentive if you line it up. You can try to spell Plinko, where it drops down, because that's what a coin pusher is.
Yeah,
it can drop down the little pegs, but they put the pegs in like it's Plinko, and you can aim it, and then generally it's going to fall to that side, but it's semi-random for how it hits the metal pegs. So that was really fun. My sister and I loved playing the coin pusher. We used to do the nickels as a kid.
I used to be really good at coin pushers too.
They had nickel ones as a kid, so it felt like you're getting more bang for your buck. But now it's just like, you know, quarter size or token size.
Canal Fest in Tonawanda in Buffalo used to have actual coin pushers. Like you just put quarters in,
and you win the quarters,
and you'd win the quarters.
So it's gambling.
It was straight up gambling.
It's by chance gambling, basically.
Straight up illegal gambling.
I've heard of places that have done that, where it's like, yeah, they rig it so that you get the quarters back instead of the tokens.
Yeah,
I guess it's a little thing you hit it goes to like the output slot. You know, basically.
Oh no, literally all that's in there is quarters. It's just quarters, and you put quarters in, and it pushes quarters.
Oh no, but that's how they used to be. I'm talking about on the Seaside Heights Boardwalk, it used to be quarters and nickels, but you didn't get them back. You got tickets.
Oh right, okay, gotcha.
You're still putting your own quarters.
No, and these ones you literally got the quarters that fell off.
Well, I'm saying they're probably the same sort of machines, but they rig them so that you get them back. That's not. I would honestly, I would love to play that because I could tell when one's ready to bust and sort of target it.
Yep. That's what I do.
But they're still, they know the payoff's never going to be as good, obviously. It's like playing slots. You're going to get 90 cents back for the dollar.
Yeah.
On the coin pushers, probably less than that. It's probably like 75 cents.
Now, I remember walking up to one, there was a big stack of coins, and I put like, I took like $5 worth of quarters, and I ended up making like 30 back, and I was like, we never need to do this again.
Yep, and you ruined it for the next people. Yep. That's basically how the slot machines work.
Yep.
It's a payout thing. Well, that was fun, Ian.
That was fun.
We should just do a redemption game podcast. I can do that.
I'm looking up coin pushers.